Sutijipan, Kanhai, Kunal, you just post that link in that WhatsApp group because
Yes, sir.
41 students are there in the lecture note, and I think you should share the link with the student. Copy that link and paste in the group so that all the students who have not been in the lecture they can join the class.
Done, sir.
Let us wait for 1 to 2 minutes. So let the students join, then we start. Now 12 number of students are there.
Good morning, sir.
Only 3 students have already joined. And I have already shared module number 1 document that in the lecture note I have uploaded that material. Okay, download it and read. Let us start the class. Is the screen visible to all?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, as per the previous class, we have just discussed what are the different cost types. So, we have discussed what is the actual cost. Then we have discussed about the estimated cost. And I told you that estimated cost is generally calculated before the construction of any project or any structure. And that actual cost that can be calculated after the completion of any work. So there should not differ much. I told you that the actual cost or should not differ plus minus 10% of the estimated cost if you are a good estimator. That means suppose I have given you example like suppose the actual cost of a building is 1 lakh. After completion of this building, we know that cost of building is 1 lakh or cost of the student is 1 lakh. But in that estimated cost, if you are a good estimator, beforehand we have calculated the cost nearly equal to 90,000 or it is nearly touches to 1,10,000. That means it should not differ much. That is, it should not differ plus minus 10% of the actual cost. That is 10% of plus minus 10% of 1 lakh nearly ranges from 90,000 to 1 lakh 10 lakh. Okay. Then we have discussed about detailed estimate. And detailed estimate is again divided into 2 subcategories. One category that I have showed you a table. That table is done to find the different quantity of different item of work, that is your measurement of calculation measurement and calculation of quantity. And second table is meant for your cost estimation. So in the first table I show you the table, that is details or description of particular item of work, then number is there, length is there, breadth, height, quantity, and remark, and this is optional for you. You may add this column or not. You may not add this column, depending upon it. This is for your betterness. I told you how I am calculating all these things. You can write here. Suppose for earthwork excavation or for brickwork, I am multiplying number is 2, number of brickwork is there. Length of the brickwork is 2 meter, width is 30 centimeter or 0.3 meter, height is 3 meter. So here may write number into length into breadth into height. Give you the quantity. This is for your betterness to know what are the things there. Okay. And in the second table, that is abstract of estimated cost, I told you how we are finding the cost. Brickwork, suppose it is 1.8 meter cube. Unit of this brickwork is in meter cube. The rate of 1 meter cube of brickwork is suppose 500 number bricks cost you nearly 4,000 rupees. So what is the cost of 1.8 meter cube of brickwork? Up to this much we have completed, right?
Yes,
The
sir.
semi yes or no? Up to this we
Yes,
have
sir.
completed. Okay. So let us proceed to the next part. Now we are going to discuss what you mean by this contingency and work charge establishment. These are very important questions as per your competitive exam point of view and your short question point of view also. Two things are there: contingency and work charge establishment. Contingency means your unforeseen expenditure. Unforeseen expenditure. क्या है? What are the unforeseen expenditure that is not seen properly? Okay, let us discuss. Suppose initially I planned a 2 BHK building. In that 2 BHK building, I have made 8 number of pile foundation. In the superstructure, I have made 8 number of pillars over that pile foundation. But this is as per your plan. This all are your planning part. When I went to the site, construction site, where I am going to construct that building, I see that the bearing capacity of the soil is very less. So I need new 2 number of extra column. Initially, I am planning that 8 number of pile is or 8 number of foundation is required for the construction of this 2 BHK. But when I reached at the site and I tested the soil, I found that the bearing capacity of the soil is very weak, and the hard strata, who is the strata who is used for bearing the load, that strata is at a very large. So that 8 number of foundation is not enough to take all the load of this 2 BHK. So here I am making 10 number of piles instead of 8. But initially in the planning there is 8 number of piles are there. But now instead of 8 number of piles, I have to construct 10 number of piles. So these are the unforeseen expenditure. That means initially we don't know. Initially we design for 8 number, but while we are going to construct the building, there may be some changes there. There may be in change in design. Yes or no? I understood what I am saying.
Yes, sir.
Kunal, Subhranshu, Susidipan,
No, sir.
which
Sir,
part?
repeat, sir.
This one.
Sir, uniform. Yes, sir.
I am saying that initially we have designed for 8 number of files. While I read, suppose this is the map. Suppose this is India map, right? This is India map. Suppose Odisha is here. This Odisha, suppose I am planning, I am going to construct a road. In the plan, I think that I have to construct the road from Puri to Baleshwar. Puri, this is Baleshwar. From the map, I draw a line like this. But in actual condition, when you reach the ground, you see in that path, there may be some village are there may be some temple are there, but initially I don't know. In that line, there are all the things are there. I just choose a line. I choose that this is the shortest path, and we consider this line as the alignment for my road. But when I reach as the actual ground condition, there may be lots of circumstances are there. Similarly, initially in the plan part, or while I am going to estimate the things, initially we have designed that 8 number of piles or foundation is required to construct, or that 8 number of pile is enough to bear the load of the 2 BHK building. But when I reach the site, I check the ground condition, the soil condition. I see that the bearing capacity of the soil is very weak, and that 8 number of foundation is not enough to bear all the load which is coming over it, or which is coming due to this 2 BHK building. So instead of this 10 number, I am going for, so 8, instead of this 8 number, I am going for 10 number of piles. So there is change in design. Yes or no? Initially I have designed for 8 number, now
Yes,
I am
sir.
changing to 10 number. Or else suppose I am going for plastering work. Today I did some plastering work. Suppose I did 1000 meters square of plastering work in the outer wall. In the outer wall of my building, or in the apartment, I did 1000 meters square of plastering work. Due to high rain, what happened? All the plastering will be eroded. Due to this rain flushes or that water, all the plastering, it will be eroded, or it will be replaced due to this high rain. Are you understand my point? Due to high rain, this plastering may be washed out. So I have to do the plastering again. Yes or no? Are you
Sir.
understanding what
Yes,
I'm
sir.
saying?
Yes, sir.
These are also
Yes,
some
sir.
on-forcing expenditure. So for this, generally, we are keeping 3 to 5% of extra money for this thing. That is for change in design. Suppose, for example, let me give you another example. Suppose I'm excavating earth for foundation. This is my ground level. I have to excavate this much amount of earth. This is my earth. I have to excavate. Okay. So this excavation cost is included in the building. But while I'm doing the excavation work, at this depth, lots of water is rushes out inside this hole, because this is rainy season, or due to the water table. Suppose the water table at that area is very high. So due to that, all the water will be accumulated inside the foundation trenches, or that foundation hole. What will do? I have to pump out. I have to pump out the water. Yes or no? I have to pump out the water. Then I have to construct the work, or then I have to construct the foundation part. So this pumping out part, it needs some money, but initially I don't know, because after excavating the earth, I don't know that water is accumulated inside this or not. So initially I have charged this much rupees, but at final, when I have excavated the earth, I see lots of water will be accumulated inside that foundation trench, and I have to remove that water for construction of my foundation. So this removal of process of this water, it needs some money, or it requires some money.
Yes, sir.
Yes. That's why in contingency we are taking, or we are keeping 3 to 5% extra money. Okay. Let us describe what is the definition. Let us see.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, you are not clearly audible.
Subhranshu, Pratidipan, my voice
Yes,
is
Yes,
sir.
sir.
clear?
Sir, now it
Yes,
is
sir.
okay. थोड़ा
Now
चला था सर
audible, sir.
टीवी में.
Now it is okay, sir. From that
Okay,
time, actually, it
okay.
is.
Just inform me. You see, what is the definition I have mentioned? A percentage of 3 to 5% is added for contingency. What is that contingency? I mentioned here, it is the unforeseen expenditure. So that means which was initially not known. That means initially we have designed for 8 number of foundation, but at the actual construction site, when I go across the soil and we see the soil condition, I'm changing that foundation from 8 number to 10 number. That is unforeseen expenditure. That is change in design and change in rate also. For example, suppose I'm going to construct a bridge. The length of the bridge is 8 kilometers, right? Suppose a simplex or L&T, they are making the bridge, okay, and they told us that this 8-kilometer bridge will be completed within 5 years. Suppose due to this pandemic like COVID-19 or due to some circumstances, that 5 year work may extend up to 7 years or 6 years. Suppose there is some strike of labor, so labor availability is not there due to some adverse condition. Suppose the site is due to a flood, the site is inside the water area or it is waterlogged, so cannot construct the work there for 2 to 3 months. Due to such reason, the construction work instead of 5 years, it will goes up to 7 years. If it will go up to 7 years, what happens? Because I told you that the cost of material and cost of labor is also changing year by year. In that 5 years, suppose the cost of cement is 400 rupees. In the next year, it may change up to 420 rupees. Cost of material, cost of steel, cost of labor, cost of equipment, everything is changed. Yes or no? So I need some extra amount of money for that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So these are the contingencies. That's why we are generally added 3 to 5% of extra money for this contingency. Then what is that war charge establishment then? Contingency part is clear for everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then,
Sir,
then
Yes.
yes.
hello. Sir, what if its cost will be increased to the 5% by the contractor while working work?
Which one?
सर 5% से अगर ज्यादा खर्चा हो गया तो क्या करेगा सर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर या फिर कोई कंपनी?
No. Generally, they are charging some extra money. They are saying we are saying 3 to 5% extra money, but they are charging much more than that in actual practice. But this is your theoretical value. Suppose in a construction project, they will charge suppose nearly 10% extra money. So that will not more than that. If that happens, that is the loss of the company. That's why they are some taking some factor of safety and they are charging some extra money from you. But as for theory part, we are generally saying that we are generally charging 3 to 5% extra. Okay.
Okay.
And
Yes,
in any construction project, generally contractor profit is also 10% is added there. 10% extra money is also added for contractor profit for any construction work. So that on 10% profit, then this 3 to 5%, then work charge establishment, these all are added there. Okay.
yes, sir.
All the construction firm, they are generally looking all these things. So because they want some profit, so they are charging some extra money. Then work charge establishment. What is that? Suppose I'm constructing a apartment here, right? The apartment. So you see near a big construction site, there are some labor quarter are there. Yes or no? Might have seen there are some labor temporary structure are there. They are constructing the labor quarter there near the apartment
Yes, sir.
for staying of the labor. And there is some warehouse also there for keeping the material. Suppose I have initially stored 1,000 bag of cement there, some quintal or some ton of steel there, some sand, fine aggregate, some coarse aggregate that is already kept at the construction site. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
And
sir.
for that, we have arranged a chowkidar. You have might have seen in new building where it is the construction is going on. There are some chowkidar securities are there, security person are there. They are just checking whether these things are properly or not. Or if they are not there, then people what will do? People they are taking all these things from your construction site. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for that cost of the chowkidar, we are generally keeping some amount of money, and that cost of the chowkidar is from the date of starting of the work to the date of completion of the work. Suppose it takes 5 years. For that 5 year, I have to added some amount of money for this cost of the chowkidar because he is take care of all these things which is there in the construction site. Your material, your machine, your coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, the steel, everything is taking care of. Yes or no? So you have to pay some extra money or you have to charge some extra money from the owner for this work charge establishment. Let us see what is there, what is the definition. You see, a percentage of 1/2 to 2% is also added to meet the expenditure of work charge establishment. That is the cost of chowkidar and guard, except for that person because he is taking salary from the company. Suppose Utkal Heights is constructing a apartment, 10-story apartment. So that Utkal Heights should give some salary to that guard or that chowkidar who is take care of all your material at the construction site. Yes or no? So
Yes, sir.
the service of that chowkidar or guard is from starting of the construction work to the end of. So after 5 years, the work is done. So then his service is over. Then he is that Utkal Heights will keep that chowkidar and guard in another site where new construction is started. But for that site, that 1/2 to 2% they're charging extra for that chowkidar or guard. Suppose some owner they told you to construct a apartment. To the contractor they are saying to construct a apartment for them. So for that owner, the contractor may charge the owner 2% extra for the cost of the chowkidar because he is the person who is taking care of all of your things at the construction site. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
This contingency and work charge establishment is clear for everyone.
Yes, sir.
सर इसे वार्क चार्ज क्यों बोलते हैं सर?
Hmm.
सर वार्क चार्ज क्यों बोलते हैं?
Work charge means that suppose this is chowkidar or guard that he's there to check or he's there to guard all your things there. That's why they're saying that is the work charge establishment. He's working there for the starting of the construction work to the end of your construction work. That's why they're
Yes.
charging some extra money. That's why they're saying this is work charge establishment. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what is the need of estimation costing? As I told you that estimation of costing is used to know the beforehand cost. Second thing, it will show you that how much cost is required in a construction project so that you can arrange your money. If you think that you should proceed with that project or you reject the project. As I told you in the previous class, suppose the cost of construction are you are having 20 lakhs of rupees, and after estimation we check that the cost of the project goes up to 25 lakhs rupees. So I have 20 lakh rupees. So that another 5 lakh you have to arrange from the bank or you have to arrange from your friend. You think whether you have to arrange this or you simply reject the project. Second, third point is that it will save some amount of material because in the estimation and costing, we'll know the exact amount of material used in a building or in a construction project. So we'll take some few extra material for that reason, but the cost of material or the wastage of material is also reduced. Yes or no? You see, these are the things are there. Estimation give an idea of the cost of the work and hence its feasibility can be determined that is whether the project could be taken up in the fund available or not. Whether I have to think that I will arrange that extra 5 lakhs of rupees or I will simply reject the project. Second estimate give an idea of time required for the completion of work. How many times? Suppose we check in estimation, you see that this much amount is the plastering work. Suppose by calculating this the wall, we know that the amount of brick required from the construction of this wall is this much meter cube. The amount of plaster area is this much. So I know the plaster area, so I think that this 100 meters square of suppose I'm taking the plastering area as 100 meters square. So for this 100 meters square of plaster area, we require at least 3 days to complete the plastering work, and I need 5 days to construct this brick work. So you add all these days and your final you can say that the completion of this project within this days because we are generally calculating the individual item. Plastering is done plastering can be done in 3 days, brickwork can be done in 4 days, RC work can be done in 5 days. You adding all these days, you can say a rough date that is within 2 months or 3 months I can complete the work. So estimates give you an idea of time required for the completion of the work. Clear? Third point, estimate is also required to control the expenditure during the execution of work. That means estimate is also required to control the expenditure means suppose in a brick work, suppose in a brick wall, it's a brick wall. construct a brick wall, I need suppose 1000 number of bricks. So I'll take 1050 number of bricks because due to some reason, due to their transportation, maybe some brick maybe break. So for that, I'm taking some extra bricks. That is 1050 number of bricks I'm taking for this. But those who did not estimate the things, they are roughly saying that for this wall, it needs 1500 number of bricks. So 1000 brick is required there, but that 500 extra number is your wastage. Yes or no? So here estimate
Yes.
is also required to control the expenditure during the execution of work. What are the expenditure? What are the requirements? We will control all this. What is the requirement of cement? What is the requirement of fine aggregate? What is the requirement of steel? What is the requirement of cement? Everything can be controlled there. Clear?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
सर
Tell
सर
me.
एक डाउट सर वो डेज ऑफ कंप्लीटेशन नंबर ऑफ द लेबर के हिसाब से कैसे कैलकुलेशन होगा
That is there in unit number 4. That is analysis of rate. As I told you that module number 1 and 2, we are generally calculating the quantity only. We are calculating the quantity of material used in a construction project. Module number 3 is your specification. How we are constructing the thing. This is all your theory part. Module number 4 or unit number 4 is your analysis of rate. How we are finding the labor cost, how we are finding that material cost, that is there in unit number 4. Okay.
ओके सर
So we are in unit number 1. Once we reach the unit number 4, I will show you how we are calculating the cost. Okay.
ओके सर
So now we have to read what are the different units of different item of work. You see, I've given a table. Let us discuss. You see, these are the particular of different item, and I have mentioned the unit here. First, R for excavation in ordinary soil, hard soil, mixed soil with conker and bajri. If some stone are there in the soil, the unit of this R soil is in cubic meter. Uh, these things they are generally asking in SSC or OSSC exam. The units of different item of work. Okay. Rock excavation, excavating the rock is also the unit is in cubic meter. R for in excavation of foundation and sand filling. Suppose initially I am constructing a foundation. Suppose this is my foundation, right? After construction of this foundation, some area is also remaining. This area is to be filled with sand. So this filling of this portion, the remaining portion, that is also in cubic meter. Digging of earth and filling of this sand is also in cubic meter. Quarrying of stone. Quarrying of stone means removing stone from the quarry site or from that area or that mine. That is also in cubic meter. Cutting of tree, that unit is in number. Suppose in a construction site there are 5 trees are there. I need to cut all the trees. So the unit of this cutting of tree, it is in number. R for in excavation, banking in road and irrigation canal. That means this is the alignment. I have to construct a road here. So I need to cut some amount of earth here, and I need to fill some amount of earth for making that alignment. So this cutting and banking of this in road or in irrigation canal, these all are done in cubic meter. Cement concreting foundation cubic meter. RCC work done this in cubic meter. Lime concreting foundation cubic meter. Precast cement concrete cubic meter. DPC. If thickness is, remember, if thickness is specified, it is in square meter. Unit is in square meter. DPC. Okay. Because what happened? Because DPC as compared to the length, because generally DPC are provided below the wall or just above the please level. There are the length and width of DPC are there. As compared to the length and depth, length and width, the thickness are very small, because generally the thickness of DPC is kept as 1 inch or nearly 2.54 centimeters. So as for the length, because length of the wall is very long and width is also very high. So as compared to the length and width, the thickness is very small, that is 2.5 centimeter. That's why we are neglecting the thickness, or initially we have mentioned the thickness of DPC as 1 inch in the description table. Then the unit is in square meter. Next, brick work in foundation and plinth, superstructure, etc. These units are in cubic meter. Reinforced brick work, it is in cubic meter. Next, thin partition wall, that is, if the thickness is less than 10 centimeter or less than 10 centimeter, suppose this is a brick. You know that the size of brick is 19 into 9 into 9. With the standard size, nominal size, along with the plaster, it will be 20 into 10 centimeter. So if the thickness is 10 centimeter, partition wall having single brick thickness or half brick thickness is 10 centimeter. Suppose I am placing the brick like this. What is this? This is 9 centimeter. Along with thin plaster, can say, or along with all this joint, I can say it is 10 centimeter wall. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So this thin partition wall, the unit is in square meter. Next, stone work in wall facing square meter. Thickness is already specified. Woodwork or door, window frame or chowkat, roof trusses, these are all cubic meter. Because you see the example of chowkat. Chowkat is look like this. Chowkat, because it have some thickness, it have some width, it have some length. So this is generally measured in cubic meter. And what about the door and window shutter? Suppose this is a door. In this door, I am fixing two panels. One glass panel is there at the top and a small thin wooden panel at the bottom. This one is wood and this one is glass panel. You see, in the glass panel, as compared to the thickness, the length and the height, both are very large. Yes or no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
I can say the unit is in square meter. If you see the example of this copy, are you able to see this copy?
No, sir.
Just a minute. Are you able to see this calculator? Not clearly visible. Wait a
No, sir.
Now can you see this book?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If someone saying what is the quantity of this book, I can say this is the length, this is the height, and this is the thickness, right?
Yes, sir.
Suppose
Yes,
I am
sir.
taking the example of this single page, right? I am taking a single page. You see, the thickness is very small as compared to the length and height. As compared to this length and this height, the thickness is very small. So here I am neglecting the thickness and I'm just measuring this one as a square meter. This surface length into breadth. In plastering also same procedure generally we are following, because the plastering thickness is generally kept as 12 mm or 1.2 centimeter. Suppose I need to plaster the wall length is suppose is 8 meter and height is 4 meter. As compared to that 8 meter and 4 meter or 5 meter, that 12 mm or 1.2 centimeter is very small. And that 1.2 centimeter is already mentioned in their plastering quantity. The thickness is 1.2 centimeter, but while I'm calculating the units is in square meter. This clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is the screen visible to all now?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Uh, I think we are at this one. Next. Then woodwork or partition work, plywood work. Suppose you might have seen in hostel, in private hostels, what they are doing. Suppose the room size is 20 feet into 18 feet. What will do? They are just dividing the room by making a plywood at in between this at the center, and they are making it two rooms. They placed one student there and they are placing another student there. They are dividing this room by using a plywood in between. Yes or no? A thin plate of wood, plywood. You might have seen in private hostels, they're making number of chamber there by using some partition wall. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And the unit of this plywood and this thin partition wall, this all are in diameter. Next, how we are measuring the steel work? You see, the steel work like rolled steel, joist, angle section, C section, everything that is measured in quintal. And that steel reinforcement bar, either it is the XYST or miles it is all measured as in quintal. And what about the unit of this cast iron pipe? And diameter is already specified. The unit is in meter. How? Suppose I want to bring a cast iron pipe. You see the pipe size already means the pipe diameter they are generally asking. Suppose you want to bring a pipe, they're asking the diameter. What is the diameter? Half inch pipe you require, one inch pipe you require, or 2 inch pipe you require. Yes or no? As for the inch, you just mentioned, I need a 20-meter length pipe having diameter half inch. So there, the thickness is already, diameter is already specified. The inch is already specified. You have to take it is in meter. How much meter you require? You just tell to the shopkeeper that I need 5-meter length of a cast iron pipe having diameter half inch. So their unit is in meter. Clear? Suppose you want a rainwater pipe. Suppose I want a pipe will drain the water from my rooftop. So this is my building. Let me erase this. Suppose this is my building, right? This is my roof portion. This is the roof portion. Here I need to fix a rainwater pipe. This is my rainwater pipe. Will drain the rainwater from the rooftop. This is my rooftop area. It will drain the water. So you tell I need 20-meter of pipe, plastic pipe or cast iron pipe. You want take any pipe. 20-meter of pipe having diameter 15 centimeter. So as for that 15 centimeter, you mentioned that I need a 15 centimeter diameter pipe having length 20 meters. So as for that 20 meter, they will charge you the money. Diameter is already specified. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Next, threading of iron. Suppose this is an iron bar. I want to make thread for tightening the bolt. Suppose I am making a thread over the iron for tightening a bolt. This is a bolt. I have to tighten the bolt here. For that, for this bolt, I have to make some number of thread here. So this thread, the unit of this thread is in centimeters. How much centimeter are making the thread? Threading of iron, it is in centimeter. Boring of hole in iron, it is in number. How many number of bore or how many number of hole we are making over the iron? That is in number. Cutting of iron joist or channel, centimeter. How much length you have cutting the channel? This much length, this much length. Next, flooring, square meter. Flooring, suppose this is a tile flooring, right? As compared to the thickness, the length and breadth is very high. And in that flooring, suppose it is a cement concrete flooring and the thickness is mentioned, mentioned is there, then you can multiply the thickness. But for flooring like your tile flooring, it is in square meter because the thickness is very small. RCC roof, it is in cubic meter. Plastering, you see, plastering, lime plaster, cement plaster, everything. Thickness and proportion is specified. Suppose thickness is 12 mm, proportion is 1:6. 1 part cement and 6 parts is sand. Then its unit is in square meter. Length, you just multiply the length and height because the thickness is already mentioned as 12 mm. Clear? Pointing work. Pointing work, the unit is also same. It is square meter. What is mean by this pointing work? Can anybody tell me what do you mean by this pointing?
Sir, the lines between two brickwork, they adhere that part that called pointing.
That means the joining line. Whenever two bricks are joined, that joining part should be plaster or that joining part should be covered with mortar. Yes or no?
Yes.
Let me draw it like this. Suppose this is a brick wall. This is the joint. So this joint, let me suppose this joint, let me cover this joint by mortar. This is my joint. These are my joint. These are my joint. Not only horizontal manner, is also joined by vertical also. These are my joints. I just cover all the joints because joints are the weakest section in a masonry work. These are the weakest part. So I need to cover all these weakest parts and or the part where there is chances of entering of moisture because these are all joints. Joints are the weakest plane, so there might be chances of break there or there might be chances of entering of moisture there. So that part I have to cover by mortar. So this phenomenon of covering the joints is known as your what? Pointing. Clear?
Yes.
Sir.
Next, dado. Dado is also in square meter. What do you mean by this dado? Dado you might have seen. Suppose this is a building, right? This is a plan of a building. Plan. Okay. So while I am making the flooring part. This is my flooring part. After finishing the flooring part, you might have seen. Suppose this is a vertical one, right? Imagine I am taking the diagram of this one. Suppose what is the height of building? Generally, tell me what is the general height of building?
So 10 feet.
For 10 feet, generally 11 to 12 feet. 12 feet. In government office, in first class building, that's also taking nearly 3.5 meters the height. Okay. Yes, 12 feet. Suppose. You see, in the vertical wall, you might have seen up to certain height, up to 6 inch height, up to this. Because in the bottom part, we are making marble or we are putting marble or floor tile. You see, up to a 6 meter height of this wall, they are generally also provide that same floor tile or that same plaster. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Have you seen that part? Wait a minute. You see, in a building, you see that bottom part, you see up to this bottom part. This bottom part. Are you able to see this one? You see up to a height of 6 inch because this is my flooring part, right? Are you able to see this one? This is my flooring part.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
These
sir.
are my flooring. And you see at a height of in the vertical direction there is a height of 6 inch. They are making it or this one. This one. They are making a 6 meter 6 inch height as your floor tile work or of marble work. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That portion is
Yes.
known as your data work. Okay. 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 So let us move. So in bathroom also you might have seen in the vertical wall there some portion they are making the vertical wall also they are making some portion they are making your floor tile they are putting the floor tile in the vertical wall up to certain height. That part is known as your datum. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
This this is also in square meter. Then white waxing, color waxing, distempering, that coloring part, everything that is in square meter, because as compared if if you are taking from market that bucket of color or paint that is in that is in liter. If you bring the color or that paint from the market, they're selling it as in meter. They're selling you as liter. If you want to buy the paint, you can say that in the shopkeeper, told them I want 10 liter of color. But while you are applying over the surface, while you are applying or paint over the surface, as compared to the thickness, the length and height is very high. So the unit of this white waxing, color waxing, and distempering, that all are in square meter. This pipe, rainwater, sanitary pipe, wastewater pipe, these all are in meter because their diameter is already specified. Fixing of door and window number. How many number of door you are fixing? That is in number. Lining of irrigation canal. Suppose this is my irrigation canal. There are two type of canal. One is lined canal, or one is online canal. Line canal means for the surface, for the side slope and the bed part, you have to plaster it or line it to reduce the scouring effect. Yes or no? So this part for this covering or this plaster covering of this side wall or side slope and the bottom part, bed part, these all are in square meter. Bituminous road surfacing, that bituminous road or flexible pavement over the tap surfacing, we are putting bitumen, that is also in square meter. Water closet wash basin in a building, suppose in a room, I install 2 wash basins. That number is in numbers. That unit is in numbers. Hand and plug point. While you are doing electrification work, suppose in a room there are 2 board are there. So electrician they are just counting. This is point number 1. This is point number 2. So this hand and plug point, the unit of this are point. Okay. Dismantling of brickwork. If you want to break the brickwork, it is also in kilometer. Explosive for blasting. This dynamite or blasting powder. These are all are in kg. Supply of bitumen. Bitumen supply, it is in ton. Supply of bare electric wire. Bare electric wire means there is no cover over the electric wire. You might have seen that electric wire in that electric port. That is, this all are in bare. There is no cover over this electric wire. It is in quintal. And the unit of paint, it is in meter. It is clear for everyone?
Sir,
Mayank,
sir,
tell me.
explain serial number 30.
Dado part,
Yes, sir.
you see, suppose this is a wall and this is the flooring part. This is my floor. This is my vertical wall. Vertical wall. This is my vertical wall, right? This is the floor part. So while we are making the floor, suppose I am making the tile flooring. This is my tile floor. Tile floor. So this tile floor is my horizontal part. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So while I am making the tile flooring, you see, up to a certain height of 6 inch, and I am also making it as tile. Have you seen that one?
Yes, sir. Yes.
That portion is your datum. There is some another name is there. I will tell you in the next
As
slide.
cutting.
Yes, cutting.
Yes, cutting is there. So dado word. Okay. This clear, Mayank.
Okay, sir.
So this is all about in today's class. In the next class, we'll discuss what are the different method of estimation. Okay. And you just do one thing. Lots of students are not there in the lecture note, and I have uploaded the unit number 1 material in the lecture note. You just download it and put it in the group. Mayank, Susidipan,
Yes,
Subran.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes,
download
sir.
it and put it in the group because lots of students are not there in the lecture note. That's why I'm not taking the classes in lecture note. Now only 40 students they have added there. So is there any doubt in today's class or should I end the class?
सर डीपीसी में अगर सर थिकनेस स्पेसिफाइड नहीं होगा तो सर उसका यूनिट सेम रहेगा.
Because the DPC may why we are saying that the thickness is not specified, because there should be some thickness.
यस सर थिकनेस शुड बी.
Why we are not mentioning? The thickness is already mentioned. Suppose in pipe, suppose you saying that sir, I just want to buy a pipe whose thickness there is no diameter. I want to 10 meter of pipe, or the diameter is not specified. The diameter is there. If you want to
Yes, sir.
mention, you mention that one. But you just take whether the unit is in meter or unit is in meter. Okay.
ओके
सर रूफ में और कलम में जो शटरिंग होता है वो आइटम में कैलकुलेट होता है या
The
नहीं?
roof in meter cube, shuttering part is in meter square. Or if you are saying the roof is, suppose you are saying it is just an asbestos roof. Asbestos roof can be measured in meter square because the thickness is very small. If you are saying it is a RCC roof, then the unit is in meter cube.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I'm ending the class here. Just share that material with the people, student. Okay.
Okay, sir.